Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is, of course, yours truly, Oprelia here, and today we are going to be reviewing this new AI browser by Perplexity known as the Comet browser. And this is currently only available on Windows, where we are reviewing it, and maybe in the future they're also going to be dropping out versions for mobile, Linux, and also Mac OS. Now, obviously, Perplexity got into a bit of a news headlines a couple of months ago when they basically said that they wanted to buy out Chrome, and I guess that was just like a smart marketing campaign to obviously pump their stock up and maybe eventually release their own browser. And, a couple of months later, here we are. And actually, Comet is also based on Chromium. That is, the base that Chrome is using, and Brave, and a lot of these other browsers that you might be accustomed to using right now. I think there's really only Opera, Firefox, and then everything else is basically done on Chromium, maybe minus Safari, and I don't think that they're even working on Safari anymore. So today we are going to be actually looking into some of the features that actually are available as of right now in the browser. So what you're basically seeing here is obviously the website, and I am currently using, the Comet browser to record everything that I'm doing here. And there's a couple of very convenient things going on for Comet right now. Number one is that they do actually have a campaign going on as of right now. So basically, if you're going to be signing under my link, you are going to be getting the pro subscription for the Comet browser as of right now. And I'm going to be getting $5. So I do appreciate that people that are going to be signing under my link down below. I would really appreciate that. And if you have some friends yourself, you should probably invite them over and make some money as well. So that is a pretty good campaign. And that's the similar thing that Brave browser, by the way, was doing. They were basically giving out $5 for everybody who signed up on Brave. So they had a good marketing campaign. And these guys are basically using the same thing as well. And the payouts are done on DUP. So in case you are wondering, and I think you need to like link your bank accounts and stuff like that in order to get paid. But let's kind of talk about things that it's able to do. So here on the interface, you have the similar bookmarks. It's pretty much the same as you would be expecting on Chromium. But here on the side, we actually have the interesting stuff. There's the assistant, and there's also the voice mode, which I do want to talk about. And those are kind of playing into the AI assistant. As you can see here on the text, it does kind of like pitch it as the Comet browser, a personal AI assistant. So it can do different types of stuff. You can tell it to, obviously it's using the Perplexity as a search engine. So let's say we will opening up a new tab here, and we can type in, well, whatever we want to, like maybe tell me about the weather in California for the next week. And it will basically just automatically use the Perplexity search engine, or the AI of the Perplexity. And I think it's one of the better ones. I would argue it's actually better than ChatGPT, because ChatGPT, I think, is a lot more censored than the Perplexity AI is. So I usually like that. And they were really the only ones in the beginning who were actually using sources for the things that they were stating out. So there was like less of that propaganda coming out from like the whoever was charge of writing the ethics code and things like that. So I do like that they always had these sources and things like that in here. But that's like another review. We're not reviewing the Perplexity search engine over here. And then they kind of talk about email stuff here. And apparently you can also do shopping with it, and you can create a lot of things. So it's kind of like, to be very convenient. Now, there's some other things. Before we go into the last thing, I do want to talk about also the speed. So I did the speedometer testing, and it scored 24.7. My Brave was scoring at 15.9. So the higher it is, the better the browser are. Opera was basically crashing on me doing this test. So I think this must be like one of the more faster browsers right now in order to use. But there might be things like extensions that I have installed. But if you have done your own testing, I would love to know what kind of scores you basically got with Comet versus the other ones. So that is browserbench.org, and you can basically do the speedometer test. It takes just like 30 seconds or something like that. Now let's finally go into, so there's a couple of different settings. These are exactly the same as you have in Chromium, but I would argue that, yeah, there's maybe a bit of a different interface over here, but it's been mostly the same. So if you're done Chrome before, it's the same thing. Now let's go into the assistant. So here we can go like the AI assistant, and we can like ask like, tell me the top 10 tech stocks right now and give me a good buying schedule for them. So it basically can do a lot of things. Obviously, it's working as an AI assistant. It's collecting metadata. So here it's now showing out what are the top 10 stocks. And it's giving me like a best day of the week, blah, blah. These are kind of like not super detailed. Okay, well, there's actually a bit more detailed here in the buy times. But obviously, we don't expect the AI to have like insider information because that's what it really comes down to. So it this is just like a very convenient, as I can just like open it up here and blah blah blah, and I can just go back to, I'm searching something. So it's very convenient. I don't know if Chrome or other browsers have something like this, but this is like on a tab. So this is kind of convenient to get very fast access to AI, as I'm using it constantly on a daily basis to do a bunch of different tasks. Now, maybe the more revolutionary feature here over here is the actual assistant. So I can talk to it right now. Okay, let's actually not do that. Let me open that again. Hi, show me the weather in Northern Europe right now.
I checked the latest weather for Northern Europe. In Copenhagen, it's around 50 degrees. Helsinki is also about 50 degrees. And Berlin is around 52 degrees. Would you like more detailed info or other locations?
So as you can see, you can basically have an AI assistant and will talk to you. The problem here is that if I ask it to things like, could you actually write that in text and put it into the chat instead of like using voice?
Sure, here it is in text. Copenhagen, approximately 50 degree F.
Yeah, so as you can see, it's basically not able to give us the text version on the thing. So it's like audio thing. This is like maybe you're in a car or something, but obviously
I'm here
you're
to
able
help.
to use it on
What would
mobile.
you like to do or find out?
So, but there's also different languages here. So it's supporting different many languages, and there's different voice styles. So let's say I'm going to be using Polish, and apparently the voice styles are going to be the same as well. So different languages being supported on the AI agent, and this is kind of like if you want to consume information on audio, but it's kind of like I want to say I wouldn't want to say it's bare bones, but maybe I'm not always the most tech savvy person when it comes to like grinding out all the information in most possible optimal way from the actual AI. So maybe there's some very other cool ways you can interact with it, and that are actually beneficial. Then also you're gonna be having own profiles under this comment thing. I think there's most of our like payout stuff and things like that. But really, what it comes down into is actually having, I don't know what this button is here. Is the actually having the assistant. I think it's really convenient, and the interface is good, and it's obviously speed wise pretty nice. Let's try out also lastly like buy a new traveling bag for me. Let's see if the assistant can basically do. Okay, it's like bubbling up Amazon. And there's probably also a page here on different things which you can look into in terms of prompting for students, finance, general use, job fit. There's some basic stuff here which might be useful to depending on your niche, whatever use case that you might have. But all things considered, there's not really a lot of reasons to use Chrome over Comet, I guess, because the Comet is going to be, you're getting 1 month of Pro if you're going to be downloading from the link down below. And obviously, I think the integration of the assistants are pretty convenient over here. And obviously, based on my understanding, the speed test should be giving you better results on Comet versus the Chrome. So you would be switching into a more faster browser at the same time. But obviously, are these things enough for you to make that swap over? Obviously, I always recommend using multiple different browsers because there are always certain websites that don't work on XYZ browser. So it's more convenient to have something else. But I actually like it. It's lightweight, it's fast, and it has these very convenient features here. And I don't have to open a new tab for ChatGPT every single time I want to interact with the AI. So now I have an assistant that basically can do all types of things. But that's basically my review. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for new stuff on the channel by subscribing. And if you're going to be trying out Comet, please do it on my link down below.